Today's today's alumni session on the topic export opportunities in finished pharmaceutical formulation. India is one of the largest supplier of generic medicines globally. Its pharma industry has had remarkable expansion in recent decades and are likely to continue to grow to vast export opportunities. Therefore, it is important for all of us to get insight that only an expert can provide us. I would like to introduce today's speaker. Rushikesh Mehta is a 2007 pass out from the very institute. He has over 14 years of experience in pharmaceutical sales and international business management as Senior Business Development Manager. He started out as Senior Sales Executive at Lupin Limited in domestic sales, where he worked for 11 years. He also worked as Senior Business Development Manager sourcing in Ambika International Corporation, Philippines. Currently, he is working as sourcing manager at Naprod Life Sciences. I now request sir to start with the session.
Thank you very much, guys. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to start my presentation with a thank you note. Thank you very much, Maruti sir, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you very much to the entire D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Science and Research staff, teaching staff, and the alumni, our alumni group for providing us opportunity to interact with the students. Guys, it's a very different feeling that when you get you get a request from an institution from where you have passed out, and that that college asks you once again to come and give us some lecture, or share the success story. So this is really it's a nice feeling, and maybe few of you in the future will surely, experience will be experiencing that. So I hope all the final year students and M.Pharm students, or students who are actually, planning for their MBAs or masters, they will have that kind of opportunity in the coming time. So let's start with the presentation. I'll just brief you before starting the presentation. I'll introduce once again myself. My name is Rushikesh Mehta. I done my B.Pharm from D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Science and Research. So that time Maruti sir was our senior. So we had a lot of guidance from him because that time he was studying M.Pharm, and we were in the final year of our B pharmacy. So Rahul sir, we all were batchmates, and thank you Rahul also that providing me this opportunity. So guys, I did my pharmacy and I passed out in 2007. Then I joined Lupin. Lupin was, a very big company in domestic as well as export market, and I joined there as a medical representative. To be very honest, the plan was actually in my final year. I gave IELTS exam. So my plan was to go in UK, study MS or the higher education, and just to collect the flight ticketing. I joined Lupin, but I worked there for 11 years. The plans got changed, and my starting company was Lupin. There I worked in the neuropsychiatry division as a medrep. Then in the same division, I got promoted as an area manager. So 11 years of extensive experience I got as medrep, and the domestic market, how it works in India, all the marketing activities, how it happens. Few of you might be aware, like those who are having their pharmacies, or their cousins or brothers are in the pharma field, or if they are in the pharmacy, they must be aware about the job roles and responsibilities of the medrep or the field force, marketing field force. So I spent my 11 years of career into that. Then one day I got an opportunity with this Naukri portal, Naukri.com. I gave an interview in Delhi with Ambika International, and I got opportunity as a BD manager there. The job was actually sourcing the pharmaceutical finished dosage forms. We will come later on that, like what was the job responsibilities and all. And this October 2021 only, I came back to India and I started my career once again with Naprod Life Sciences, which is based in Andheri East, and it's a oncology manufacturer. Here I am actually working as a manager sourcing, and I'm responsible for sourcing those products which are not being manufactured by my company. So Rahul sir, can you please share the presentation, or can you share the screen, please? Yeah. Can you make it a full screen, please?
Okay, Rushikesh?
Yeah, actually, I'm not able to see the full screen. If everyone can see the full screen, I can start.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, so guys, let's start with the presentation. Now, I request you all just to run the PPTs or the slides. I expect like if you have any questions or if you have anything to ask, please be free. We want this session to be interactive and not just as a lecture. So please let me know if you have any doubts or anything in your mind. So let's start. So career in opportunities in pharmaceutical export. Before starting that, let's understand what is export and what is import. Rahul sir, can you go to the next slide, please?
Okay. Are you visible? Screen is visible?
No, the screen is not visible to me actually. If you can stop sharing and once again start. Please go on the second slide. Yeah. So what is export of pharmaceutical finished formulations? So guys, I work in pharma. There are two segments basically in the exports. India exports APIs also, which is active pharmaceutical ingredients, and India exports finished formulations as well. So India import APIs, India export APIs as well, and in finished formulation, India do export finished formulations. So what is export? It's basically selling the pharmaceutical finished formulations to other countries, crossing the boundaries by complying the regulatory requirements of that respective country. So whatever guidelines or whatever MOH is there, or whatever drug authority is there, they have certain registration guidelines to register certain drug molecule in that respective country. So if any Indian pharmaceutical company wants to register their brand or their molecule in that particular country, the Indian manufacturer must comply with the registration guidelines of that particular country. We need to provide certain set of documentation to get the approval of that particular brand. So the recent export example we all know is like India was selling this HCQS, hydroxychloroquine, during the COVID peak time to USA. So that time everyone praised our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and the man behind, I mean the main behind this export was the Indian pharma industry. So this is just an example of export. So what is import? It's just an antonym of export. It is purchase of the medicine from the exporting country. Also, can you go to the next slide, please? So just some statistics, guys. We will not go in very detail. So you all are studying currently the pharmacy, the pharmacology, and the medicines. But when you will be done, I mean, the industry where you are studying right now, you should know the size of that particular industry. So total Indian pharmaceutical market is almost $66.66 billion. So it's very huge market, and you can you can praise yourself, or you can assume that you are in a big industry, or industry with a lot of opportunities coming your way. So the total pharma market is almost $66.66 billion. Out of the 66.66 billion, the domestic market comprises of almost 42 billion USD. The export business, what an all Indian pharma companies do, is almost $24 billion plus. And as we all aware, like US FDA is considered to be the most stringent regulatory authority. So in India, we have total 170 plus approved US FDA. It's more than 200, in fact. Drug manufacturers who are approved by US FDA. And in USA, when a certain registration is applied, like if we have here, take an example, if Indian manufacturer who is manufacturing rabeprazole, and if he wants to register that particular product in US, he needs to apply the ANDA in USA. The full form of ANDA is abbreviated New Drug Application. It is called as filing also. So India is the second country, the second largest country in number of filings of ANDA in US. So that is the strength of Indian pharmaceutical industry, or we can say that this is the strength of the documentation what we have in Indian pharma, because US FDA is very stringent in terms of the documentation and the quality parameters. So we are number second in filings of ANDA in USA. Now India is 12th largest exporter of medical goods in the world. The country's pharmaceutical sector contributes almost 6.6% to the total merchandise export. So whatever export happens from India in various industries, 6.6% comprises of Indian, this pharma. Yeah, sir, please go to the next slide. Okay, so some additional statistics, like India, Indian drugs are exported almost more than 200 countries entire world. US is our key market because the maximum export, what happens from India, US is our biggest customer, you can say. So generic drugs accounts for, 20% of the global export in terms of volume, making the country as the largest provider of the generic medicines globally. And India's drug and pharmaceutical exports stood almost USD 3.76 billion between April 2021 and May 2021. We all aware that in these 2 months last year, there was a peak of COVID we all experienced, and that time India was actually called as a global pharmacy. We were considered to be a global pharmacy for the entire world. And in that 2 months, we actually exported almost 3.76 billion USD medicines to entire world. So go to the next slide, please. So just for your information, guys, the big export players in Indian market are like Sun, Intas, Torrent, Lupin, Aurobindo, Inswift, BDR, Emcure, Serum. We all know Emcure because it's a Pune-based pharmaceutical company. Apart from that, Sun is, we all know that Sun is number one pharmaceutical company in India. So all these players are very big in terms of exporting their products and having the registrations in the market. So go to the next slide, please. So coming back to the main agenda of our this presentation, that careers in the pharmaceutical export. So the minimum export qualification, the minimum educational qualifications a person should have to enter into this export industry is, a person should have B.Pharm. He should at least have M.Pharm degree, some MBA or some PGDBM or any management course, relevant management course. maybe some relevant experience of the industry, such as some sort of a diploma course in the management or a good kind of experience, like marketing experience also sometimes considered before entering into an export industry. Also, one of the important skill that is needed or careers in the, criteria, we can say, it is good communication skill. So go to the next slide, please. Rahul sir, hello.
Yes, Rushikesh.
Uh, Actually, I think the slides which the presentation which is shared by you, it's quite different than what I shared with you. Can you give me 2 minutes? I will share that presentation once again to you. Is that
Okay,
okay?
okay,
Just
sure.
give me 2 minutes.
Okay. Sorry guys, due to technical issue, there is a 2 minutes gap is there. After 2 minutes, we will start again. Okay. Wait for 2 minutes. Rushikesh sir, can we start?
Yeah, please.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen. Can we go to this career guidance? Yes. Uh, so, dear students, hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm extremely sorry. Apologizing for the break in between. Actually, by mistake, I sent a wrong PPT to Rahul sir. So let's start from where we stuck actually. So this was the slide which I was about to like how to choose the right career path. So basically, guys, I'll not be explaining you in detail like how to choose your career and what you should do with your life or your professional life after your last year of BCom or MPharm. But few things I want to address here, like please choose your career path. Like these four parameters are really very important when you are choosing a long-term career path for yourself. So first, when see after BPharm, the career or your education never stops at the BPharm level. Okay. After BPharm, all of you should go to the MPharm or MBA or some MS or any other the master programs or any educational thing where you will be upgraded or you will learn a lot of more things which will be practically useful for your career this thing. So always choose your careers on these four parameters, like what interest levels you have. Okay, somebody is interested in in teaching, he should go ahead with the teaching. Somebody is interested in marketing or commercial activities, he should go actually in terms of this export or the marketing, domestic marketing and all. If that should be the criteria while choosing your career. Even also what are your requirements in your life, so that also important in terms of choosing the right career. Like your requirement consists of what are your dreams, what is your salary expectations, how ambitious you are in terms of money. So all these parameters are also very very important while choosing the right career. Then your dreams and your passion, so that is one of the most important aspects while choosing your right career. Okay, if you have dream of becoming very big in terms of or in terms of a sales guy, or you want to start your own setup in future, or that kind of passion if you have, you should think or you should choose your career in that way. Again, the goals are very important. Like while choosing the proper or right career, you should be setting what are your short term goals and what are your long term goals. Okay, we all say that, and we all have believed that someone should not be doing the job entire of their life. Okay, at one point of time you have to be an entrepreneur in your life. So while choosing your career, that should be your long term goal, like how I can become an entrepreneur in that particular segment. So all these things you should consider while you are choosing the career or career after your BCom. So please go to the next slide, please. So now, coming back to the slide, that careers in the pharmaceutical export, as I mentioned before, that the minimum educational qualifications what one should have is they should have at least a degree of BPharm or MPharm. They should possess MBA degree, PGDM, or any management post. Some relevant experience of the industry like sales or marketing, domestic marketing, we can say that he or she should possess. Then a good communication skill is also required in any of the careers he or she will choose. Please go to the next slide, sir. Now, the advantages of careers in the export is, every career opportunity will be having some advantages, some disadvantages, and we all know that. Now, we will talk only about the advantages of the export industry the pharmaceutical export industry. Now, the first and the most important advantage of doing career in the export industry is attractive compensation and benefit packages. So, guys, compared to the domestic sales and marketing, okay, once a person is a B.Pharm, once he have MBA or M.Pharm degree or some sort of management diploma course with him, he will get a good compensation and benefit packages compared to the domestic market in the export industry. So that is one of the, we all work or we all, work for money always. So that is one of the important criteria. So again, if you choose your career in export, international exposure is something which is an important advantage of this industry. You will be getting an international exposure. You will be going for various meetings abroad. You will be meeting customers which are located abroad, and you will try to understand how the business runs in their own country. So the geographical understanding will also get improved when you travel a lot. When you will be having a interaction with the international buddies, you will have your international buddies, and for sure the geographical understanding will definitely improve. The market intelligence will also improve time to time because you will be visiting those partners in that particular country. You will try to understand like how their business runs, because in India, when you work in the domestic business or domestic marketing or domestic sales, domestic manufacturing, okay, you will get to know only about what is happening in India or what is happening in the your state or like that. But when you will be having the exposure of international exposure, for sure the intelligence of market, like what is the the pharma market size there, which are the leading brands are there, which are the big therapeutic industry, what is the biggest therapeutic segment is there. So these kind of market intelligence you will get to know time to time. Again, your communication skills will improve. Your personality will surely change. That is again an important aspect of export career. And industry contact. So when you will be having an international export career, you will be interacting only with the MD, COOs, directors, all these all these spokespersons in the respective country. So the level of communication, the level of thought exchange that will happen, that will be for sure with the higher buddies, and that will surely help you out with a big amount of knowledge, and you will learn a lot from those contacts. And as I said, if you want to become an entrepreneur in the future, all these industry contacts will surely help you achieve that dream, or that your objective in a shortest time if you have a good industry contact. So go to the next slide, please. Now, designations and roles on the, in the export market, you will, and what we will be understanding right now with this slide is these are the designations which belongs or where a person can work, okay, or he or she can start their career. Okay, we will see it one by one. Now, if a person starts in the export as a export career, he starts or she starts as a business development executive. The business development executive is responsible for all the communication with the country outside, or the partner which is located in the outside of the country. Soon he will have years, good experience of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. He may get or she may get elevated as a BDM, which is Business Development Manager. So the role and responsibilities of this entire designation is to develop the business, register the products in that particular country of your own Indian pharma, of your own company. So in licensing and out licensing executives are, this is also again another designation where person will be responsible for licensing in, licensing out. It means the registration of your product from your own branding. So, some companies like big pharma companies wants to register their brand outside India also. So those companies hire this in licensing and out licensing executives, which actually, I mean, the role again is register their own brands in other countries with the same name. Okay. Then once you have good pharmaceutical experience or good quite experience of 4, 5, 6 years, someone can get elevated as an international sales manager, wherein he will be responsible for the handling the entire segment or handling the entire team of the export. So, I mean, all the BDMs, BDEs will report to that international sales manager in that particular, region wise. Even somebody can work as a RA manager also, like the regulatory affairs manager, where he will be responsible for handling the dossiers of that particular region. Also, someone can also work or get a designation as a country manager. Like, say, for example, in Southeast Asia, there are a lot of countries like Myanmar, Cambodia. Someone can get a role in that particular at that particular location. Like an Indian company will locate you in Myanmar or Cambodia or Philippines or Malaysia, and you will be located there, and you will do all the work or all the registration or whatever assignments are assigned to you. You can do it at that particular location. Also, you can work as a regional head. Now in export there are regions, guys. Like Asia region is there, Asia Pacific. Then MENA is Middle East, and the world is divided into these regions. Africa region is there, Southeast Asia is there, Middle East is there. So these regions, so regional head, as a regional head, you can work where you will be assigned a region like various countries. Say for example, if you are a regional head of Africa, then you will be assigned countries such as Ethiopia, Nigeria, Tanzania, Ghana, Kenya. All these countries will come under you. Your role and responsibility is to sell your product in these regions by registering, or by first registering, and after the commercial will happen. Even someone, after 10, 15 or 20, 10, 15 years, someone can get the designation as assistant vice president or vice president international business. Someone can become chief operating officer also, and at the end you may reach the height of being a director of your own company also in the export thing. So to the next slide, please. So this is all about the export opportunities, guys. The export opportunities, and as I mentioned, like what is the basic requirements, which are the big players after your education you can target. Now we also need to know like what are the general steps involved in the export, like how the export happens from in one country to other countries. So the first and very most important step is introduction of an importer and exporter. Like if you are sitting in India, your role is is of exporter. The company or your partner who is sitting in the other country, he will be importing the goods from you. So his role becomes as an importer. So there is an introduction of importers and exporters. That is the first step which is there. Then the second step which is involved is business case finalization. Like you will be offering certain set of products which are being manufactured by your company to him. He will choose what products he wants to register in his own country. He will choose those products. Okay, he will send you that, okay, my interest belongs to these products, and please let me know what will be your price, or what is your MOQs, like minimum order quantity I need to order. So as per your company policy, you will be providing all these details, like this is the price. This you will be asking them, like once the product is registered, what volumes you will be ordering, or what forecasting you will be giving for the products which are selected by you. So that I mean, this is all put together we call as a business case finalization. That will be the second place, point, second step. The third point, after the business case finalization, some documentation needs to be happen of whatever terms conditions you decide. So there is an agreement between that happened between the importer and importer. We call it a supply agreement or a distribution agreement. So that is the third step of the export. Then once your agreement is signed, you become partners. Okay. Then the dossier preparation as per the regulatory guidelines, dossier sharing or dossier submission to that particular MOH that happens. And after 1 or 2 years, like the registration cycle is 2 years for particular certain product. It's from 1 year to 3 years. It depends country to country. So that is the timeline of registering a particular product in some country. So that MOH approval or MA, we call it marketing authorization, or we also call it a CPR, the registration, certificate of product registration. So all these steps are there. Then please go to the next slide, sir. Okay, once the product is registered after 2 years, okay, the labeling happens on the carton of that particular product. So that labeling instructions as per the MOH guidelines that are being shared in between importers and distributors. So that is the once that are finalized. So that is again a step. Then you get the PO, that is purchase order, from that importer. After getting the PO, you send it to your production team. They plan the production, and as per their planning, you get an idea that okay, this is the after how many days you will get the product. Then the batch manufacturing and as per the PO specification. Then the dispatch. Once the product is manufactured, packed, and ready for dispatch, you provide the dispatch date to your importer. And after all, okay, the last step is shipment receipt at the import port. Like once you send the shipment from here via air or via sea, the importer receives it at their import port, and then his role starts from there. So he will be the one who will be responsible for clearing it from the customs and all. So to the next slide, please. Now, basic registration requirements. As I mentioned, guys, in my presentation, that you cannot sell products without registration in any country. The first and the most important thing to commercialize certain product in any country, the first and most important step is registration of the product. Now, as I mentioned, also that the world is divided into the regions. Like we have Southeast Asia, we have LATAM, we have Africa region. So they have their own basic registration requirements, like in what how they want the documentation. So for the Southeast Asia, which comprises of Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Philippines, Vietnam, all these countries accept the ECTD format of the dossier. They accept the COPP, which is marketed and produced in the same country. Then the stability zone 4B, and for the oral solid dosage forms, they require the bioequivalence study. So these are some basic documentations that we need to submit into the MOH for a successful registration. In LATAM and Africa, a CTD dossier is all good to be register a particular product, and these studies, of course, are required. Go to the next slide, sir. Yeah. Now, how the pharmaceutical industry operates outside India. Now, we all try to know like what is exporter, how he exports the product, how the product gets registered. Now, we should also have a bit of idea like what is an importer, what are the responsibilities of an importer, okay, what is the distribution model in that importing country, and what is the value of your registration, because a product cycle in all these cases, guys, 3 years. Okay, from your initial discussions, from the like basic price negotiation, I mean the cold inquiry, what we call, like if you can offer me this product or like that. From there to a successful registration, the product cycle comprises of almost 3 years. So both exporter and importer are investing 3 years of time in that particular registration along with the money. Okay, so the registration always possesses a value because it is, we can call it as a fixed deposit also, because the the returns will get after 3 years. It is an SIP also for an importer or also for an exporter. So the importer is importer is a pharmaceutical company who is located in that particular region and who is responsible for commercializing your products, maintaining your registrations, and uh, all the distribution activities that are required for a product that are carried out by an importer in that particular region. Now, the responsibilities of importers, as I mentioned, that successful, registration is an in that particular country is a responsibility of an importer, because he will be the one who will be discussing all the documentation or a compliance with the MOs. So his responsibilities are also very much important. Now he also assigns some distributors throughout their country. So there he assigns some distributor to distribute the product throughout the nation. And the registration, say for example, if there is a quarrel in between, or there is quarrel in between your exporter and importer, and if your exporter wants their registration back, okay, the importer does not give that registrations very easily. They charge some amount of money also for that, because they have, both the parties have invested a lot in that particular registrations to come out. So these are the very, very basic and preliminary information about the Indian pharma export industry, how it works, how you can consider this as a very big opportunity in terms of your career. Guys, when we did our B.Pharm, at that time the mentality of our parents was like कि चलो at least if he will do or she will do a B.Pharm, okay, चलो at least कुछ नहीं हुआ तो दुकान तो डाल ही लेंगे. So that was a kind of mentality was there of our parents. When we actually got the हमारा जब admission हुआ था B.Pharm में, we were also not aware about, okay, this is the this much big is the pharma industry of India, and मतलब इतनी सारी opportunities भी रहेंगी. आज की डेट में India has become, it is one of the giants in the India, global pharma. So export is surely a big and a very prime career career opportunity if you consider it. Okay, and also by the time, it's not only about doing a job in the export, but soon once you have a good experience, you can work as an merchant exporter also. You can work, or you can have your own plant. You can register your own products in other countries also. So that is a very big opportunity in terms of career, money, as well as mental satisfaction. So guys, this was some insights. That was my attempt to provide you some sort of my experience. And if you have any questions, after this session also, I have mentioned my contact details. If you want, anybody wants to contact me directly, you all are always free to call me. You are all free to message me. Even you can mail me also on my mail ID. I'll be, very much happy to help you.